Equity. This is a strong, sometimes volatile word. It has been used to invoke rallies and protests. Equity. Such a word is often used to garner attention to a political or social cause. Equity has many associates: fairness, opportunity, equality. Other words seem to be passed along as foundational supports to equity. Is this where we stand? As a student at a regional campus, I see what most view as an unfair imbalance in opportunities. Inequity, as it were. Some seem to feel like the unwanted stepchildren of some imprisoning figure. Others just don't understand why things are the way they are. I fall in between those two ideologies. I do not feel neglected or mistreated, yet I wonder if the true issue within equity between main campus and the regional sites is simply another word altogether. In essence, we are looking at our university. We all have an allegiance to our school, but is the loyalty returned in the same manner? Is the idea of main campus versus regional sites a real issue? Are we not all students of one great institution, Western Kentucky University? If we all agree that we are one student body, one educational institution, one family, then is this a battle? Maybe it's just a conflict of interest. I still believe we are missing the right words here. Language is a powerful tool, and we need to wield it with responsibility here. The real terms we need to explore are age-old enemies of those who wish to instill drama and conflict: awareness and communication. These terms seem to be at the root of most conflicts. We cannot fix an issue we are not aware of. We can only become more aware through communication. This sentiment is echoed by many, including Gail Ledford. Ms. Ledford is the Student Support Academic Program Liaison for Western Kentucky University in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, and Fort Knox. Ms. Ledford states that the issue of equity is one whose base is in those the university serves: students. Student services are the main issue when we speak of inequities. Such services include veteran affairs, disability and career services, assessment centers, financial aid, bookstores, and even library services. While some of these are site-specific imbalances, they affect all students at regional campuses somewhat. Ms. Ledford was able to quickly point out that the issues are founded in our infamous words from before: awareness and communication.
I think some of the greatest challenges for regional campus students are the miscommunications between departments and instructors, and the services that are due them. Students at regional campuses pay the same tuition, but the nature of them being at a local regional area, many of the services are not brought to that area for a number of reasons. One of the things that I feel is most challenging to students is to keep them from feeling like they're stepchildren of the university. That we try to communicate that they're important and that they need to also understand that they are the person that we serve. So some of our jobs in bringing services to the students at regional campuses become a challenge because each regional campus has a different group of students that are very diverse and their needs are diverse, and whether we can convey that to the departments at main campus becomes a challenge for us too. We'd like for all students to feel like they belong and are a part, but we know that many programs bring challenges with them, many of them in the offerings of the classes in a timely manner, and depending on the individual groups that they're dealing with. They're dealing with a couple of state institutions, from a community college to a four-year institutions, and the policies and procedures are very different. So they're going from being a full-service institution at a community college to a self-service institution at a four-year institution, and some of those services become challenging for them.
Some would ask if more services, full or part-time, are needed at regional sites. Is the enrollment at regional sites increasing at a rate that would require added services? Enrollment at regional sites in a 5-year period was nearly 4 times that of the overall number of enrollment for WKU. I was fortunate enough to speak with Dr. Dennis George. He is essentially responsible for the regional sites. Dr. George supported the idea of awareness and stated that the problems can be solved when you know they exist. Such problems include the need for more located full-time staff at the regional sites and the exploration into the need for more space in regards of added curriculum and course offerings. Dr. George invited me to meet with him and the directors of each regional site to discuss this further. At our meeting, each director stated that the issue was awareness and communication. They agreed that most issues that arise can be resolved when they are known and discussed. Dr. Stevens, director at Elizabethtown Radcliffe Fort Knox, echoed a sentiment that Gail Leffert also stated, that students at regional sites in Elizabethtown and Owensboro need to be able to finish their degree requirements at those sites and within the 4 semesters following their first 2 years at the KCTTS schools that they accompany. Those students should also be allowed to graduate with honors if they meet the GPA requirements. Students at those sites now cannot graduate with honors simply due to the lack of WKU hours in their degree programs. Dr. Stevens reiterated that if you're going to require something, then offer it 100%. The regional directors also stated that some at main campus are instilled with the idea that regional campuses in some ways steal students away, that if the regional sites are not there, students would attend classes in Bowling Green. For me, that couldn't be further from the truth. I could not attend due to the distance and the fact that I'm a non-traditional student, as are many of my cohorts. This lifestyle would not allow for me to travel to main campus extensively. The University of Louisville, University of Kentucky, and other small institutions are much closer. Travel to main campus would be a hindrance that many would not endure. Now that our focus is back on students, I decided to gather opinion and views from their perspective. I interviewed some students enrolled in the SKYTEACH program at the Elizabethtown campus. I began with simple questions. What are the advantages of being at a regional site? The consensus answers included being close to home, the ability to work and go to school, and the numerous online, IVS, and independent learning courses offered. All of these answers reflect the needs and wants of most non-traditional students, which make up a substantial portion of the students at the Elizabethtown campus. Other answers were interesting. They stated they liked the feel of the small college at the regional sites, but enjoy the benefits of the large university. Disadvantages were listed in rapid-fire concession, and most were those discussed before. The lack of full-time services such as VA, career, financial aid, and computer services. Others were site-specific. Elizabethtown is the only regional site without a full-time librarian, without a Western Kentucky University bookstore, WKU Disability Services, or a WKU Assessment Center. These may seem to be minute issues, but when you have to work around ECTC's schedule for an assessment or for disability services, it can be stressful. The main disadvantage we discussed is what the majority agree is the most important for collegiates: degree program requirements and those courses being offered at regional sites. IVS and web courses can remedy some of the pain here, but some of these courses are not available through those methods. One student stated that the course he needed was not offered due to a lack of materials and equipment at the Elizabethtown site. This seems simple enough to fix, with some communication. Regional sites need materials for certain classes. As of now, most materials are transported back and forth from the regional sites to main campus. Facilitators are responsible for maintaining and storing these items. A simple solution would be to add resource rooms at the regional sites. These rooms would store all equipment needed for the courses offered there. Students could use these materials when instructed, and all materials and equipment could be inventoried to ensure safekeeping and maintenance if needed. The following images were taken on my trip to main campus for this project. The images are of the large resource room in the Thompson Complex's central wing. This room contains vast amounts of supplies for students that range from popsicle sticks and Hot Wheels to video cameras and calculators. This room represents what could be offered at each regional site as well. As of now, the Elizabethtown SKYTEACH students use a resource tub, as shown here. As I reflect upon this project, I more fully understand some issues that were very cloudy and unclear before. The powers that be at main campus have no ill will towards the regional sites. With the proper awareness and communication, each site can be better equipped to handle the needs of its students. Student services are essential in every aspect of the educational institution. When we reflect together, we see that the combination of regional site students, main campus students, and all faculty and staff is what makes our university a tremendous place to learn, grow, and graduate. Without a tremendous amount of effort, one can easily find that a variety of conflicts throughout history are rooted in a lack of awareness and communication. Hopefully this presentation will guide us and act as a key to open doors to both.